One thing that I would like for all of us to do, and this is something that I would tell specific individuals, and over the last few weeks, I've been telling more and more people to do it, whether it's been my friends in person or, individuals that I speak to online. One of the biggest things for me is my organization, right? Over the last year, I've definitely gotten extremely organized. And before we even jump into our Q&A today, as we all raise our hands, I want us all to do something for me. So we could all buy a physical calendar. I've said this a few times, but I know not really majority of us haven't done it because I've already mentioned this to only a few people, specifically, but I would like for us all to buy a physical calendar. This is a hack that worked for me to get more done. And with us all here having so many assets and things to get completed, it's nearly imperative that we have our organization in place. So as a homework assignment, I would love for all of us to go to Staples, Office Depot, whatever it is, and to actually buy the physical calendar, okay? The people that I've assigned to go ahead and do this, they are telling me it is changing their workflow. And I want us all to go ahead and have a steroid to our workflow. Even though we work hard and we make it happen, I do want to add a bit of a steroid to it, which is this organization. Okay, go to Staples, buy a physical calendar, and before you get into the new month, the whole month should be mapped out already. When you're getting specific things done, when you're going to complete specific actual tasks, and you're going to enable yourself to move forward and effectively actually have a game plan for the next month. Okay, this is going to allow you to genuinely have all of your landing pages planned out in terms of when you'll get them done. Product research, okay, targeting. You want to schedule all these things out in advance for yourself. Okay, so what I want us to do is buy the calendar, okay, and start by planning out your next month in advance. Okay, what would be great is if you take a picture of it, you could post it in Platinum, and we'll all give some feedback on the calendar, whether you're stacking things too close together, whether you're just creating things and being a bit unreasonable, just trying to write things in there. You want to create this to be reasonable, so you actually have your day planned in advance, and not only your day, your whole month. Okay, and this is what I've done not only at the beginning of my journey, because I was a very unorganized individual. This turned me organized, right? Not only this, but also the combination of operating with systems, using Google Calendar, and everything in between. So I want this to be a big point before we even get started today, that we all please get a physical calendar, right? Because if it helped me, it will definitely, help a lot of us here. So if that makes sense, guys, you're going to get the physical calendar. Give me a 7 down below. Drop 7s down below if you're going to commit to it, okay? And we'll do this together as a team, okay? I think it'll be very, very smart, okay, for you to go ahead and obtain this if you don't have one already. Okay. And the biggest thing about this is just genuinely knowing what you're doing 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now. Okay. You're planning out your days in advance, because anything that you're doing here, we have systems, we have structure, we have everything templated for us, but we can't template your own schedule, right? So that's one thing that you need to template is your own schedule and your own way to complete the tasks in a super effective way, right? And that's what I want to go ahead and make sure we're all doing here. And I think that's going to be proper. And Deontay says mine runs out in 2 months. Right, which is good. You're 2 months in advance, right? That's phenomenal, right? And that's why you're moving quick and you're getting things done, right? And that's one of the most important things to realize, guys, is when we are trying to get things done in a speedy manner, we have to be preemptive with what we're trying to do. Okay, success in anything here, finding a winning product, finding consistency, getting your first sale, or scaling past your 100K month, whatever it may be, it's all preemptive, okay? It needs to be planned. It's not just going to happen, right? You need to plan it out. You have all the tools and everything you need, but now it's time that we really start planning and getting a bit more organized with ourselves. And I think that's going to be proper for all of us here. Chris says, hey, Justin, Arvin, or anyone, I'm curious, how do you guys, when you started, cope with things that are meant to happen, bring anxiety, but we're totally out of control? Thinking, feeling overwhelmed by a corporate job, PayPal holds, these sort of things, especially for those of us who are insomniacs. Well, Chris, that's basically me, right? I struggle to sleep often. I've been good lately, actually, but throughout the majority of my life building all these companies, I've been struggling to sleep oftentimes because my mind's always running. And obviously, when you're in an environment like that, you're going to have anxiety, right? So one of the things I want us all to be aware of, especially yourself, Chris, here, is you got to power through it, right? Don't use mechanisms to hide that anxiety feeling, right? You don't want to go ahead and smoke a cigarette or something like that, right? You want to go ahead and kind of face it. You want to face it. Right. And by facing it, you're going to get normalized to that feeling and to that exposure of stress, right? And things not going perfectly. And guess what? In business, things will never be perfect. So one of the biggest things is realizing that you have to be natural in how you move forward, right? And you have to almost always expose yourself to that in the rawest form and get through it. It's all perseverance, right? And I'm someone who's been under heavy amounts of stress, right? Especially when I first started off, right? To go ahead and make it happen. And the way I've push through is just by literally pushing through, right? There's only one way through to the other side, and that's going through it, right? And that's what you have to focus on, right? Maybe, you're someone who has a lot of things in your shoulders, right? You got a lot going on. You should empower that, right? You should empower that. And you should realize, well, I'm the guy that people are relying on. Well, I'm the guy that has this weight on my shoulders. God gave you that, right? God gave you that ability to say, hey, this person can handle that, right? So God would give you nothing that you can't handle. So whatever you have going on right now is for a reason, right? And you got to persevere because it's all a test. Life's a game, and you got to be able to go ahead and, eat the losses, but enhance the wins and kind of feel, what it takes to get through it, right? And what it takes is being able to genuinely hold anxiety, genuinely hold stress and get through it. And what happens, and what I believe anxiety is, I get anxiety when I don't do things that I should be doing, right? So in my opinion, and I forgot where I saw this, and I agree with the point very heavily. I think it was Layla Hormozi's wife. She said anxiety is just a mechanism that basically tells you what you should be doing. And the one-way ticket to go ahead and get through the anxiety is just to go ahead and do what you should have been doing. And that will eliminate that ultimately and get you more progressive as well.
Hey, Justin, how are you?
Good. How you doing today, my man?
First off, I would like to say you and Jordan amazingly blew it yesterday. That was a peak. Like, I was struggling with product research. I do have some, but few don't qualify or somewhat qualify. But then after yesterday, now I'm like, I know what qualifies and what doesn't. So
I love it. I highly recommend watching that replay as well. I'm going to send it out as an email to everyone here. So definitely watch it. It's definitely a phenomenal thing to go through to touch on product research a bit deeper with our exact system.
Let's say you find a product through the BSF tools and the product research criteria, and it's only available on Amazon and it's not there on AliExpress. So
for when you're looking for a product and it's not available on AliExpress, keep in mind, okay, AliExpress is nothing more to us than a product research tool at this point, right? Back in 2016, 2017, we had to use AliExpress, right? But what happens is we have agents here in Beyond Six Figures where you're able to get great shipping time. So we don't actually use AliExpress. What we use it for is bottom barrel price points, right? We're seeing exactly what our bottom barrel pricing could be from a Chinese manufacturer, and that's going to give you a good gauge as to what you could price your item at to be in the profit, but also be extremely competitive. Right now, let's say the item is not particularly on AliExpress. It's okay, right? But I would like you to go ahead and see other places that are particularly selling a similar item so you can gauge the price point to start off with, right? That's the ideology of what we're doing. It's more of a price gauge at this point, right? And also a way to go ahead and generate great ideas and see what's selling well due to the order count, right? So keep that in mind. If the product's not available on AliExpress, that's okay, but you need to go ahead and gauge that pricing elsewhere.
I first, of course, I've been kind of going back and forth with you about AOV. As far as, so what I've tried so far is I did do, so I have like an express shipping option, $2.95 on the back end. I guess like my next step, in your opinion, should it be like bundle deals? Should I be trying to do bulk discount? Should I be raising the price of my product, testing that? Is it all of the above, right? I'll let you talk now.
Perfect. So far, what is the revenue at for this product monthly?
My 30-day, I checked it this morning, as I will probably do every mastermind, and we were at
60,000.
Yes. So
in 1 month.
In 1 month, yeah, actually, in the past 7 days, because this is my next thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for a 20K in 7 days. I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah, but I mean, you're gonna be doing 100K a month next month. All right.
Yeah, well, that's right. So exactly, Justin, like this is where I'm at, right? Like even on bad days, the product is like break even. I think like at this point, I can basically stop worrying about the consistency of the product, right? The farm system's built up, maintaining that. I just need like the little extra bit of profitability,
For sure.
So I can breathe a little more, because
and this is what you're going to do, right? And
yeah.
the thing is, you're month over month, you're highly profitable, which is great. But when you have those days that are break even, when you're doing so well, that's all you need is an AOV jump, right? So this is going to make you where you're netting healthily every single solitary day, just like Edmund is doing for like the last 6 months, right? And it's important that you realize that with an AOV increase, you're going to have more room to also spend more money, right? Which is what I want you to do, right? So first and foremost, this is what we're going to go ahead and present. So on your back end, right, you have the standard shipping, right? You have the $4.95 add-on for expedited as well. I'm sorry, not expedited, but for insured shipping.
So I don't. So what I have is I have the free And then I also have a $295 express shipping option.
Okay, I would like to bump that to $495.
$495.
And I want you to also add insured shipping, right? To where if it ever gets lost, you'll cover it for them. No questions asked.
Okay, so insured and express, or should I
Insured
just say
and-
insured?
Insured and expressed. You're
Okay.
marketing, you know how to go ahead and word that properly, because it's insured and express. You don't want to short sell yourself by only giving them one piece when you're going to do both. So
Yeah,
that's
I
number
just
one.
have this perception of insured, like if they don't get the insured, do they think like they're getting like low tier shipping? You know, that's my,
Well, no. Keep in
Well-
mind, insured is if it gets lost in the mail for whatever reason, they're not, shit out of luck, right? You'll
Okay.
cover it and send them another one. That's exactly what that means.
Okay. All right. I'll
That-
try the
that's-
495. It can work.
$495. Okay. I would also like you to take a look and create a sandbox campaign and bump the price by $495. Right. And also, Dan, while you're on that topic, like this is your second winner, right? You joined Beyond Six Figures 3 times. You
It's
joined
technically third, but yes.
right. So BSF twice with platinum. You found winners both times, did very, very well. And you joined the service program. And we also did exceptionally well there as well. So you're 3 for 3 on everything BSF, which is awesome. So why don't you walk us who are newer, or finding our first traction, or having some fool's gold products that throw us a few sales that we have to kill. How do you get through that mentally?
Follow the data. And, like I said, do not get super emotional about it. If you're one of those kinds of people where like, you're going to get that way, like mentally prepare yourself now, like Justin's talking about, because like I'll be like straight up with all of you, like at this point, right? I'm doing 50, 60K months, right? And I'm still like, my entire life as a spectrum is still stressful. Just be prepared to be in the trenches, right? Because like that is just a part of this game. As an entrepreneur, there's going to be good times.
And honestly, as the numbers get bigger, the stress gets bigger.
It does, right? Because like at this level that I'm at, I'm spending $1,000, $1,300 a day on Facebook, right?
One of the biggest things, Dan, and everyone here, oftentimes the worst thing for your business is scale. Oftentimes the worst thing for your business is scale, right? Honestly, Dan, we could probably flick a few switches and get you to 150K in like a week, right? But that would implode your business, right? So that's obviously not the goal. The goal is to move slow and steady and to grow linearly. So what we should be doing here is, like you said, stacking the profit and really, I would say, staying low scale with trying to just optimize the spend, right? Which is exactly what we're doing now by getting better assets and everything in between.